Hey there, welcome to ATL and 29, a podcast that looks at the NBA from the starting point of Atlanta. My name is Kevin Chenard. I am here with Tyler Jones on a Wednesday night after a game between the Orlando Magic and the Atlanta Hawks. We are hours away from having Glenn back in his normal situation, but not quite in time for this podcast. So it's me and Tyler tonight, and we get to talk about a Hawks win and the same old story with the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, I mean, they're just not a mentally strong basketball team. Like, they get frustrated, especially when things don't go their way. And then, like, they're cheap shot artists. And, like, it's on, like, Jock Landale got hurt on the last one, but that wasn't the only, like, cheap shot they were doing. Like, Wendell Carter, the entire second half was just pushing, two-hand shoving every Hawks player after every action, and they only called it once. I'm like, and the thing that was frustrating is like they started that third quarter, they weren't even competing. Like they legit were not even competing for like the beginning of the third. They turned it up at the end, but by that point the game was truly over. And I'm like, okay, so you're not competing, you're frustrated, and instead of just playing like I don't know, like a professional, like this is not high school. Like you are not a child. This is like I'm sorry, this is unacceptable from children. Like if a child does that in a sporting event, we pull them from the game and we sit them down and we like there has to be punishment. Like and to me, I'm like this is the third time that the Magic have intentionally injured somebody because that is when you yank somebody like that out of the air, you're absolutely trying to hurt them. It's the third time they've done this. I don't care what people say. Franz Wagner absolutely stuck his leg out against against
Larry Nance.
Larry Nance, and then I forget who did it, but the foul on the back to V Krejci, and
Yep.
like, and that hurt the Hawks. Like that killed the Hawks' depth to end the year. And so like I'm 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 going like I think it's imperative that first of all, I really wish the rest would have snuffed this out sooner. Like this is one of those things where it's like, man, you have to be mentally aware of the situation where you're seeing constantly Magic players pushing, shoving after the play, and you're not calling it. And you're not calling it. You're letting them get away with it. You're not nipping this in the bud. Like, do you not understand the history with these teams?
And it's
They
easy
don't
if
like
you're
each other.
official. It's a 28-point game or something. It's like it's not hard to
Kick
get
them out
control
the
of the game. You're
game.
not messing up the outcome. You're not changing the course of the future for anybody except who might get hurt.
Kick them out the game. Tee up the coach and be like, "This happens again. You're ejected." And like, there's going to be suspensions. Like Goga should be suspended. Like he better get a multiple game suspension for this. I stand by this. I Mosley should be suspended too, but that might help the Magic. So, who knows? Who knows with that? But like, I'm just like, it's like they got no pride as like athletes. Like I don't get that. Like I played football, man. Like to intentionally cheap shot somebody, especially when the game's functionally over, is so like it's disgusting. It's one of the more disgusting acts I've seen on the basketball floor. I want to talk about the game because like the Hawks played great and like it kind of we talked about it in the preview, Kevin, about the weaknesses the Magic have,
You were
and
spot
like
on.
The Hawks exploited him. It's primarily Desmond Bain. He's just not good enough offensively for his shortcomings defensively, and it's the same for Paolo Banchero. Like and like granted, they look gassed. Like after the first quarter, I don't think they just had the energy. But the bigger issue is like the Hawks out executed them, you know, for the majority of the game, except for that first quarter, where the Magic did take advantage of their size. But it's kind of the same old story with the Magic. If you keep them off the free throw line and you match up with them physically, they really don't have another option. Like they kind of run out of like plans, and so like they've got serious problems over there. But great win for the Hawks.
Yeah, I mean, just the Orlando offense is just so predictable, and they don't have the shooting to make it work. It's just like, well, we're going to run this pick and roll, and you just hedge a little bit up high, let the roll man get behind you, send some help, make sure you've got adequate help at the rim, and then there's a shooter open, and it's never anybody that's particularly worrisome, and then they shoot three for God knows what. I guess they finished like 6 for 25 or whatever by the end of the game, but like it's just have your help ready to on the roll man. They'll kick it back out to somebody who will take an ugly looking jump shot, and that's it. The play's over. And then if they don't do that, it's a Paolo Banchero ISO
Yep.
with bad spacing. He can barely dribble, and he does it. He never passes out of it, and it's just so slow and cumbersome and predictable. Like there's never any variations from it. So it's just you just got to concentrate on doing what you can to deal with him one on one, have a little bit of help behind it, and it's just not scary at all.
Yeah, and like to me, like a lot of it is their offensive like principles are just bad. Like I think that's kind of the primary issue. Like if you want to compare and contrast between the Hawks and the Magic, the Hawks run like 5 out basketball and they execute like a lot of different actions to get a lot of different guys going in a lot of different directions. You don't know where the Hawks are going to attack on a given possession. Like you don't. It's kind of the magic of, quote, no pun intended. It's kind of the magic of the team. You don't really know on a possession to possession basis what the Hawks are going to do. And so compare that to Orlando, like they're pretty traditional outside of their elite at getting to the free throw line. And they need to, I mean, they've needed to upgrade their coaching situation for I feel like the last couple of years, but I think they've used the injury excuse. And like Mosley should get a lot of credit for turning the Magic around because he did do a great job of instilling, toughness, physicality, effort. But you see, when you're not getting the results, that effort can go away. And like, if we want to talk about it, like the compare and contrast, like a lot of what the Hawks are doing, honestly, defensively, is that they're consistently playing hard. Everybody's consistently playing hard, and they're consistently executing what they need to do on a given possession. That was not true. Um, that honestly hadn't been true all year. Like even when they were healthy with Porzingis, they were more. It was more like individual greatness of Porzingis's rim protection, but there was a lot of breakdowns. We talked about the offensive rebounding being a problem. Uh, Jalen was kind of wishy-washy on defense for like the beginning of the year. You compare to how they're playing now. Like Jalen's playing great defense, Okongwu's playing great defense, and as a team they execute. And because they execute, even when they're smaller, they're able to contain the glass. Like they're able to maintain positive, rebounding opportunities, being positive like situations to grab the ball off the rim compared to what they were doing before, which was they're beating up rotation. Yeah, Dyson makes a great play, or somebody makes a great play, but the ball you're beat though at the same time. So like I think that they figure some stuff out, and it's great to see.
Yeah, and to sort of continue that notion, like it's kind of exciting to see sort of the newfound defensive competence of the bench because it makes everybody's job a little bit easier. I didn't really love the Jalen Suggs Gabe Vincent matchup because Suggs was kind of big and he was kind of bullying Gabe Vincent a little bit, but at the same time, like Gabe competed. Gabe didn't give up blow-bys, and so like there weren't any defensive rotations. So like if Suggs did get to that one-on-one matchup where he had a little bit of an advantage, if he made it, yeah, but if he missed it, like you said, there weren't any defensive breakdowns. They were going to get the rebounds. And when you've got Kuminga, Riza, Shea, Landale as your front line, you're going to get some rebounds. Like they've They've got defensive competence and defensive rebounding both in this bench unit. And, the starting lineup doesn't have to try to make up for the deficiency of the bench anymore. Like they just hold their own on a regular basis now.
Yeah, I mean, I think Brian Oliver talked about it on one possession where Ricochet took some action away of dribble handoff. Then they tried to attack Kaminga, and then Kaminga took some action away from a different dribble handoff, and like they forced the Magic into a late, shot clock, opportunity. And so I just think, like we talked about, it's the one the improvement of Ricochet's defense. Like he has picked it up. He's gone to another level defensively. Like he's playing with real confidence, and that's great to see that how he's responded to quote unquote benching. Because like here's the reality. Like because I see you see some people are being like Ricochet's playing great. He should play more, and I agree on certain situations he should play more. But the reality of the situation is he's not better than the top seven guys in the rotation. And so like
And what he does is he does Nikhil kind of things.
yes,
And he's not replacing Nikhil.
he's not like
I mean,
he's good at like eating minutes for Nikhil, Dyson, and Jalen to a certain extent. But overall, like the reality is like right now, he's not better than those guys. And so and the thing is he doesn't have an on-ball game and they need on-ball creation. That's just the reality of the situation. So until either he gets more comfortable as a shooter, which he could get there, I believe in it. And like I'm he's playing like I said, like he's playing great ball outside of that. It's just like this team is just better. Like the team is just better. Like if this were the basketball team that they were before this winning streak, before this stretch, he would earn 30 plus minutes a night. The reality is the team has gotten a lot better. There are guys who are playing better than he is, even though he's playing well. And it's okay that he's not playing like, racking up points, rebounds, assists, and playing 25, 30 minutes every night. Because you know what? He's super valuable in that 14-minute stretch. These 14-minute stretches, 14, 17-minute stretches that he plays is the margin. Like they're going to be playoff games where if he outplays somebody, or if the Hawks bench unit outplays the other team's bench unit, that could be the difference in the game right there, you know. And so like I need fans to understand like starting bench, it's a 240 game. Like there's 240 available minutes to 5 basketball players for each team. You got to you got to maximize every minute now in today's NBA, especially this Hawks team when they don't have it like a tier one superstar. Like so, it's important for them for the entire 240 for them to be good. And like Ricochet really helps with that because of what he's doing defensively and offensively. Honestly,
I like what he's doing defensively, and I think he wouldn't get to do the same things with the starters. They're using him more on the ball.
yep,
And you've already got all these good defenders out there. Like Kaminga can hold his own. Landale can hold his own if you're not asking him to do too much. Gabe Vincent can hold his own in the right situations. Like he gets on the ball, he pressures the ball. They try to screen him because they don't like the pressure. He gets over one, he gets over two, he gets screened by the third one. Okay, well, now there's 13 seconds left on the shot clock, and you've got a good defensive team out there. Like that screen that you finally got him with, yeah, you got him, but you're already at a disadvantage at that point. So, like, they're putting pressure on opposing defenses with their bench lineups by just killing shot clock on a routine basis.
yep. Killing shot clock, creating turnovers. Even with Dyson not in the game, they're still creating turnovers. And then uh rebounding the basketball with Kaminga. Like that's been like I to bring it back to Kaminga a little bit, like that's his value for this team. Like I know I don't again the discourse around him is super bizarre to me because like the fact of the matter is like the Hawks need the Hawks need his size, physicality, and his ability to grab defensive rebounds. Like he and Landale, and hopefully Landale's okay because like they are going to need him if they want to make it to the playoffs and in the playoffs, they're probably going to need him against certain teams. So hopefully he's all right. But like those two guys have absolutely flipped the possession game. And like now the Hawks are a good rebounding team throughout the full 48 minutes. You don't have to stretch Jalen Johnson too much. You can sit him and for extended stretches and like you're fine. Like that is a luxury not every team is going to have going forward here. And like that is, and this bench unit is really paying some dividends for the Sox. Even with Gabe like shooting like I don't know like 15% from three or whatever, just the value he brings as a guy who can bring the ball up the floor and run the offense and get these guys set. It's valuable. It takes pressure off CJ McCollum and it takes pressure off Nickeil Alexander-Walker when they play together. So I really think like this is a great team. Like you know people were crying about the schedule or whatever like that mattered, but they're executing at an elite level right now, and like the results are showing.
And just as a note, a little bit about what's ahead relative to Landale, like I think the Hawks have a day off, a game against Brooklyn, and then two more days off. So, obviously if it's a serious thing, it's a serious thing. But if it's like a minor thing for Landale, like he should be completely off of his feet for the next 4 days until the game after that.
Yeah, we'll see with that. It's good that I thought it was the knee, so if it's the ankle, like
It
I
was
mean it's
listed
still
as an
bad,
ankle. Yeah.
but a knee is like season ender.
Yeah.
Ankle, we'll see. It depends on severity, so hopefully it's not too bad. But yeah, no, I talk about Nickeil here. I don't. He should win Player of the Month. Should win Most Improved. Uh, somebody I don't know exists on Blue Sky uh, mentioned me and said like this is reminding him of Jalen Brunson on the Knicks when he first got signed, and I'm starting to believe that because this is unreal. Like, the shooting talent just seems real. The only difference between like he's been this level of shooter throughout his career now for a couple seasons. The only difference is he's getting more opportunity. And so like it's one of those situations where the Hawks are maximizing his offensive skill set. Like and he's a tough cover for these teams. Like he has a quick trigger and a high release, and he has an ability to get to a step back similar to his cousin. He's a prop. Like I think he's gotten better as the season's gone on. He's gotten a lot better as the season's gone on, and like this is because it's funny. Brad on his podcast he said if Nickeil were to win a player of the month, he'd be the first, like, he'd be one of like three or four non All Stars to ever win that award since 2001. This is an All Star to me. Like, this is a guy who is 100% like going to be a multiple time All Star. Cause like, this is just a perfect glove and fit with him and Jalen. Like, they're the perfect pair together offensively, and it's magic. Like it's absolutely magic, and it's one of the best contracts in sports, really, because he has elevated this Hawks team to another level, and like his leadership and his mental, like he's so mentally tough, man. Like this game he could have folded. First quarter, he gets two BS fouls called on him. One of them absolutely a complete flop. They fell for it. He's frustrated. Quinn takes him out early, and then he comes out and he just lights the world on fire. And I'm like, man, this is personal. And this this is like this. I'm like, this is a legacy game. This is like a star in the making kind of stuff with what we're seeing from the kill. Like 70% true shooting in a month is ridiculous from a goal. Ridiculous. I just think we're lucky to have him. I don't know what else to say. Like he competes on both ends. He's been absolutely electric. There's him, Dyson, and Jalen being the three-headed monster for this Hawks team has been so fun to watch during this stretch.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What did you think of Kuminga's offensive night?
It's a continuation of what he did the last game, where it was more under control, taking advantage of his opportunities that were given to him in transition, attacking off the catch, going straight to a dribble drive to get to the front of the rim. That's when he's most dangerous. And that's just a good basketball player to me. I hate to say it, inclined with he wasn't pressing for his offense as much. Like drives, he gets to the ball. All right, I'm gonna find Nikhil. Like I think it helps that he's playing. I think Quinn's pairing him with Nikhil and CJ more here on these bench units, guys who are like lethal off ball shooters. Uh, and I think Quinn's separating him and Dyson a little bit more here. But we'll see. Like they're probably gonna play some more. But I think that's also helped him. But yeah, he's just playing the right way, the way the Hawks need him to play. Uh, they don't they don't need his scoring. That's the thing. I wish fans would kind of understand. Hawks don't really need his scoring, but they do need him to play the game the right way because when he does that, he's going to be super efficient. He's going to score anyways, and then he's going to find more and more opportunities to find spots where he can score even more and even more. Because they're like one thing to be aware of is that the Magic did take advantage of the Hawks playing smaller to begin the game. And so there's going to be teams and matchups where Kaminga's going to have to play over CJ, right? It's so he's got to play the right way. Like he cannot be somebody stopping the ball, pounding the rock, looking for his ISO opportunities. Like it's got to be more within the flow of the offense, like he can pick up like he can if he can pick up some stuff from Jalen, how Jalen plays, like I think that's going to really help him. Like I know people think it's a like he can't do it, but like I do think this is a good offensive environment for him, and like he'll be able to pick up some cues of what Jalen does, and then apply that to his own game because he has a different flow to him compared to Jalen. But there are some stuff he can take away from him, and I do think the biggest one is just attacking off the catch when the ball swung to him. Like just get downhill, survey your options, then and don't hold the ball, wait and see what everybody else is doing. Just get to the front of the rim. If the layup's there, take it. If it's not, you drew some help almost certainly because teams are scared of you dunking on them. Then kick out to shooters and we go from there. Like it's just good offense.
Yeah, he had like the one kind of record scratch three early where he caught it, faked like he was going to shoot it, looked around for 3 or 4 seconds, and then he did shoot it, and it was like so out of rhythm. And it's like, well, this might be a difficult night. And then right after that, he kind of just completely
Yeah,
settled in. Everything
yeah,
else he did for the rest of the night on offense seemed like much more in a flow than that one. And like bittersweetly, like the play that Landale got hurt on, that was a great pass from Kuminga. Somebody drove, spun, used Kuminga as like a quick little outlet, and Kuminga could have shot it there, like taking a little 5 foot floater, but he's like, nope. There's Landale. He gave him the perfect pass, and of course, you know,
yeah,
it should have been a clean dunk, but whatever. But it was a very that was a very mature pass from Kuminga right there.
yeah. No, he had a great floor game overall. Like I thought it was another um great game, and hopefully he can build on that going forward here. Because like I said, they're going to absolutely need him. Come these games coming up, particularly against the Knicks and the Cavs. If we just look at it now with how the schedule's working out, if they want to stay out of the play-in, they probably need to win one or they don't have to win all three, which is big now. I think they just need to win one or two, and they can kind of secure it. if they want the fifth seed, then they got to win all three. But we'll see. We'll see how that plays out going forward.
Anything else you want to talk about? What did we leave out? Actually, Dyson Daniels, like the shooting is coming around. Like if you watch him even like in warm-ups, like if you watched him in warm-ups like 6 weeks ago, it's the most bizarre thing because even when you would watch him 6 weeks ago, like it would be like swish, miss by 2 feet, swish, miss by 2 feet, miss by 2 feet. Like it's like I don't understand. It was almost like incomprehensible. Like when he got the ball to the rim, it would go in, but if he missed, he would miss by like multiple feet. And now that's just that like you watch him warm up, like that's gone. Like it doesn't seem like he's at that point anymore. And now he's got the confidence of having made them in games for 2 weeks now that it's not like he's rising and firing at every opportunity, but he's at the point where if you're just going to completely ignore him, he will take that shot and make enough of them.
Yeah, it seems like he's back to where he was last year, which is really all he needs right now.
That's it.
But I'm gonna be honest, I've been more impressed recently with Dyson's drives. It feels like he's playing with more physicality. He
Mhm.
drew a couple fouls. I mean, he drew a couple fouls being physical. That's not something he always did. Like he usually just settled for the floater. Now he's finding opportunities to get downhill quickly. Like he had one play where um he beat some Magic defender straight to the front of the rim, off of like a fake DHO or whatever. And like he saw his opportunity and looked to score. Like he's playing with natural aggression on offense to look for his, look for his points, which is what he didn't do against the Rockets, and it really hurt them. But he's been doing it ever since that Rockets game, where it's like, all right, I have to look to score. I've gotta look to score, and like because they need that from him. He's too good of a he's too good of a basketball player to just you know uh not be a threat, particularly with how good of a dribble ball handler he is and how good of a driver he can be. So uh no, he's playing. I mean, he's been playing incredible basketball the entire year. But it's good that the shot's going down so people can get off his back a little bit about the shooting because it was bizarre, but like he's a better shooter than what he shot this year, and so like it'll be huge if he can keep this up throughout this stretch right here.
We've had two straight games now where the Hawks have not started the second quarter with Kispert out there. Do you think that's going to stick?
Yeah, no, Kispert's just not in the rotation because I don't think I think this pretty. I think Quinn has kind of made the call here of he's going to get serious. Uh, I did like that Quinn went with Mo early. He gives
That's
Mo
like
a
the
stretch.
foul replacement.
Yeah, or no, because he did in the first and the third quarter where Mo's the
Okay.
first guy off the bench.
Okay.
I think it's particularly because the Magic are a bigger team, and so that's the lineup he wants to go to. Instead of like just throwing Kaminga out there and screwing up with whatever bench rotation that he wants to go with. So yeah, no, I mean Kispert, I mean, uh, he just hasn't been good enough. Like there's not much for me to say there. So I'm glad that he's not in the rotation, and I'm glad that the Hawks are trying to win every game here because they can't afford to be like they're playing too well, and it'd be a disservice to try to continue the experiment when it hasn't worked.
There have been some references from the Hawks the last couple of weeks that when they got to the final 14 games of the regular season, they were going to treat each block of 7 games like it was a 7 game series. I don't know how you do that when the opponent rotates or whatnot, but I do think I maybe when they got to that last 7 game block, which I think is when Kispert went out, maybe they said, okay, we're going to tighten the rotation up a little bit now, and I think that obviously it's not a real 7 game series, but they talked about that first game without Kispert as if it was game one of a 7 game series. So maybe they you know in the parlance of whatever it was they were discussing, they discussed it as, okay, we're going to be the best version of ourselves. We're really going to tighten the rotation and uh, give it our maximum effort to get to the finish line. And uh, Kispert has been out since the quote unquote beginning of the second 7 game series. Quinn Snyder mentioned it, and Onyeka Okongwu mentioned that. I don't know if anybody else mentioned it, but it was kind of weird to hear it, but that's that's how they've been describing it.
Well, I mean, it's the playoffs. I mean, like I said, these are the playoffs, man. Can't
Yeah.
afford to lose games and can't afford like you know, Kisper got every opportunity. Like it's not like he didn't get plenty of opportunities to figure something out with the Hawks, and he just couldn't. He just couldn't figure it out. And like, unfortunately, he also had a bad shooting stretch. But like I said, I think it was the defense that was more the issue. And the Hawks are a better, probably are a better team than what they realized they were going to be when they made all these trade deadline deals. Like they're 100% just a better basketball team than they expected. And from there, they're like, okay, we can't mess around anymore. That's why Reese Shea's not playing as much. Like, if we're being honest, they got a lot better. Like, they're just playing better. Jalen's playing a lot better. Dicey's playing a lot better. Onyeka's playing a lot better. And Nikhil's playing a lot better. Like, these guys are playing way better than what they had earlier in the season. And now everybody's like, all right, we have to ride this for as long as we can go. And so we can't afford to be, experimenting with somebody who's going to be or like who figures to be the 10th man in the rotation at best. So I think they made the decision and they're like, all right, we're going to get serious and try to win some games. Um, and that's why Kish was not in the rotation.
Any thoughts about the upcoming Brooklyn game?
It would be interesting to see. I would suspect some guys are going to rest. That seems to be the MO when they play one of these tanking teams. They figure some guys who need to take the game off or whatever. So like we'll see who that is. But yeah, as long as they take it seriously, they should win. But nothing's guaranteed. That's just the nature of the NBA. Nothing's guaranteed. So hopefully they can pull it out, but they should. They have the more talent, but depending on who sits, it might be harder than what people are going to think it's going to be going into it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you for holding down the fort when Glenn was out. We made you do double duty here. And good night, Bob.
Good night, Bob.